Hello everyone, my name is Balaji. This video is continuation to Splunk Lookups Part 1. In this video, you will learn how to create CSV lookups, how to view lookup data in search, how to do lookups for event data, how to define CSV lookups, how to do case sensitive and case insensitive lookups in search, how to do wildcard match, how to do CIDR match, how to define Kvstore lookups, how to migrate CSV lookups to Kvstore or load data into Kvstore lookups, how to create automatic lookups. Let's see how to create a CSV lookup. I have sample CSV file here. It contains only two records for demonstration purpose and to understand easily. There are two ways to upload CSV file into Splunk. One is out of the box feature and second one is using Lookup Editor Splunk application. Let's try out of the box feature first. Click on settings here. Click on lookups under knowledge and then click on add new. In the first row, it says lookup table files. Here you can choose any destination app. Destination app is basically where you would like to store this lookup. Click on choose file to upload the lookup file. Let's take the file which I showed you just now. Let's choose destination app as searching and reporting. Destination file is what you would like to name it and store it in Splunk. Field description here, it is saying that if you are uploading a plain text CSV file, we recommend a file name ending in CSV. For KMZ or KML file, we recommend file name ending KMZ or KML. Let's name this file name training hyphen out of the box. Since we are uploading CSV, let's add .csv to this file name and click on save. That's it. I'm done with creating a lookup file. Let's look at another method to upload CSV file. This method requires external app called Lookup Editor. We can download this from splunkbase.splunk.com, URL given in the description. Splunkbase.splunk.com is a website where you will find 95% of free apps and add-ons. Or you could directly download the app from your Splunk Enterprise if that is a standalone or testing instance. I'm going to install directly from my instance. Click on Splunk Enterprise here and you can see there is a gear or setting icon. Click on that and then click on browse more apps. Type application in the search. In this case, it should be Lookup Editor. Here you can see Lookup File Editor. Click on install. It will prompt for your Splunk-based credentials. If you have already used them or registered yourself in splunk.com, URL is given in the description. I'm going to enter my credentials here and check this box, login and install. Click on done. Refresh your browser and then click on apps here. Here you can see Lookup Editor. Let's open this. Click on create a new lookup here and select CSV lookup. Click on import here and select file to import. I'm going to choose the same file, but this time I'll name it as training-lookup-editor.csv to differentiate with the one I have uploaded earlier. User only is the setting to keep this lookup private if you check this box. For now, I'll leave it as it is. Choose app where you'd like to store this lookup. Let's choose search and reporting and click on save lookup. That's it. You are done with creating lookups in Splunk. And the second one is how to view lookup data in search. Let's go back to search and reporting application. To see the content of lookup file, there is a command called input lookup. When you are typing input lookup at starting of the search, you have to use pipe symbol. Just put pipe symbol like this and type input lookup command. Here you can see it's highlighted. If there is any spelling mistake in the command, it will not be highlighted. Let's take the first lookup which I have uploaded from the settings, that is training out of the box.csv. You can see the content of the lookup file as I have shown it before here in the CSV. And there is one more method to see this lookup data by using application called Lookup Editor which we have just downloaded. Let's open Lookup Editor here. This is the place where you will see all the lookups from all the applications. Let's type training. You can see there are two files. One I have uploaded from the settings, that is training-oov.csv, and the other one I have uploaded using Lookup Editor, that is training-lookup-editor.csv. Let's open the second one to see the data. It should be the same as the previous one. You can see it here, the data is same. The next one is how to do lookups for event data. Let's assume we have an event. That event contains IP as 10.1.1.1 and we'll try to fetch host name associated to that IP, which is India PC, in our event data. I'll show you how to do that. First, let me create an event. We can create dummy events by using a make results command. Just type make results and then you have to create a new field. When you're creating a new field, there is a command called eval to create a new field. Just use the field which you want to name. In this case, it will be like underscore raw and then write your event here. Let's say I have a IP and description. This is my field header and comma and then I have one IP 10.1.1.1 comma description as I don't want to keep it in double quotes, it will mismatch. Let's say internal. You'll see something like this. But we want to make it first row as a header and the second two rows should be values for this header. How to do that? There is a command called multi-kv for each header equal to true. Here you can see IP and description as a field header and these two are values. Now let's see how to look up to get host name India PC. Just type lookup and say the lookup name. We can use either of the lookups, the one we upload from settings or the one we upload using lookup editor. Let's take the one we upload from settings, that is training-oob.csv. And here you have to tell Splunk that which field are you looking into the lookup table. The first field should be the one you are looking from the lookup table, that should be IP, as the second field should be the one which is in your event data. In this case, in event data also that is IP. And to get host name, there is a keyword called output and say this field name, host name. Or you could say one more thing. When you say output new, whichever the fields are not matching will come. For example, there is one more field like city. When you just say output new, you will get all the fields. For now, we have only one field, which is host name. We want to get it from the lookup. Just use host name. You see it here. The first IP is matched. The first IP is 10.1.1 from our event data is matched with 10.1.1, which is in lookup, and it has returned India PC. And the second IP is not matched. The hostname field is null here. Let's see how to define CSV lookups. Why do you need to define CSV lookups? There are extra features you will get with the lookup definition. First one is you can control case sensitive or case insensitive while matching field values from event and lookup. Second one is wildcard match. I'll demonstrate this in a while. And third one is CIDR match. I'll demonstrate this also in a while. Let's go ahead and define a CSV lookup. Click on settings and click on lookups. Here we have three options. We have already seen first option. Why do you need to use that? And the second option is lookup definitions. This is where we'll define a lookup. Let's click on this and click on new lookup definition. And the name, let's say training hyphen OOB. And this should be file based because our CSV is file based. Let's take training oob.csv. Here it is. And here are the options which I just spoke. Case sensitive match. If you check this one, for example, if you are looking for a field value, it will look for case sensitive match. Let's leave this for now and click on save. That's it. You have defined a lookup file. Let's check this here. Training hyphen OOB. Here it is. Let me open a new window and try to access this. You know the command what we need to use to see the content of lookup table. Let's do pipe input lookup training hyphen OOB. Enter. Here it is. You can see this now. And let me open a new window. And now let's see how to do case sensitive and case insensitive lookups in search. Let me take the previous example event. This is the one. And let me remove this. To check case sensitive or case insensitive or to test case sensitive or case insensitive, we cannot do it with the integers or numerics. For that, I'm going to use host field here. Let's assume we have a host name here. That is, let's say India PC. Let me look at the values. It's a India PC. And the next one is London PC. If you look at these values, first value India PC, I have given wrong. The second one, I have given it right. Let's run this and we will see how this case sensitive or case insensitive will work. To do that, let's do lookup training -OOB. We should not use CSV file here. We should use the one we have defined. That is training-OOB, and then the field which is inside the training OOB lookup file. That is hostname as, and the field which is in the event data. That is also hostname here. Let's say hostname and output, and we'll try to get IP address from this one. So we can give IP here. You see it here. The London PC is matched and the first one is not matched. That's because if you look at the definition of our lookup, click on advanced options, it is saying that case sensitive match. That means if all letters are matched with the case, then only it will return the value which you are looking, otherwise it will return null. You can see it here. IP is not coming for the India PC. Let's make the change. Let's make it exact match India PC and run it again. You see it here. We got the IP for the India PC as well. Let's see how to do wildcard match. To test wildcard match, we need to have some sample data. Let's go ahead and create CSV lookup here. I'll name this training wildcard2.csv and I'm not going to check this out. And app should be search and reporting. And we need only two columns. We can remove this column 3, 4 and 5, 6. Right click, delete selected columns, and let's rename this column. Let me say domain, and this one let me say flag. Let me create a wildcard match here, star.google.com, star.microsoft.com, and star.facebook.com, and flag let's say S. The reason why I have specified asterisk here, asterisk is wildcard in Splunk to match whatever is in front of .google.com and .microsoft.com and also .facebook.com. Let me make use of earlier search URL and description is fine. This one should be abcd.google.com and this one should be xyz.microsoft.com. Let me create one more event, efgh facebook.com. Let's look at the events, and I missed the description value for this one. Let's say unknown. Let's remove unnecessary fields hyphen underscore time comma underscore raw comma line count, and here we have only two fields which we want. Let's take an example. You have a search, and in that search, you have got these results. You want to get the results for the domains which are not trusted. As you know, google.com is very well-known domain, and microsoft.com is very well-known domain, right? So these things you don't want to see it in the result. Let's do lookup, and we use the lookup. I forgot to save here. Let's save it here. But just with the CSV, it is not going to work. To get features like wildcard match, CIDR match, we need to define this lookup. Let's go ahead and define this lookup. Go to settings, click on lookups and lookup definitions. Create new lookup definition. Leave destination app as it is. Name this one training hyphen wildcard 2, and here we need to take training wildcard2.csv. Click on advanced options. Here we have this data and we want to tell Splunk that this should act as wildcard match. To do that, go back to lookup definition. The match type, say wildcard in parenthesis field which you want to make wildcard, and click on save. Let's check the lookup definition here. Training wildcard to copy this. Go back to our search. Is it here? And you can see it here. We want to match this URL field with domain field here. So as I mentioned earlier, first field name should be the field name which is in lookup file, that is domain as, and the field name which is in the event URL output, and we want to get flag. Let's run this. You can see it here. Flag is saying that yes, for two URLs which are matching abc.google.com and xvz.microsoft.com, but this one is not matched because before facebook.com there is no dot. That's the reason it's not matching. Our goal is to return only the one which is not matched. That is the reason we are getting this field, so that this can be used to eliminate the results which are matched. To remove this one, you can say where command, where is null flag. You can see it here, the one which is not matched is returned. Let's see how to do CIDR match. You might get question, where will this be applicable? One of examples, as I mentioned in my previous video, getting inventory of network devices is tough job. And by having subnets with their description, we'll give at least an idea what is this IP belongs to. Let's look at this table. I named this table training-CIDR2.csv. An app, I'm going to store this one in searching and reporting. If you look at this one, there is a field called CIDR and description and range. If you look at this one, 10.1.1.0/24, and it is saying that switches. You can see it here, the range. It starts from 10.1.1.0 to 10.1.1.255. And if you don't have inventory details of all these IPs between these ranges, what you can do, you can club these things. Most of the companies will have this CIDR information with the description when they created a network. Let's save this for now. And to get that CIDR feature, we have to define this lookup. Let's go to settings and lookup definitions. I'm already on the page. You just click on new lookup definition. I'm not going to touch destination app. Name, I would say training hyphen CIDR2. Type is file based. Lookup file is training-CIDR.csv and click on advanced options. We need to make domain field as CIDR. For that, just type CIDR parenthesis type domain. Sorry, CIDR. This is a field we need to set a CIDR match. Click on save. Let's go back to search. Here I have two results already created with the two fields, IP and location. Let's look up now. Type lookup. The lookup definition is training-CIDR2. The field which is in the lookup is CIDR, as the field which we would like to match with the CIDR is IP. And this time, let's try to get all the fields from the lookup table. For that, we need to say output new. You see it here, only one IP is matched. Next, let's see how to define Kvstore lookups. Kvstore lookups cannot be defined from the settings, but we can define them in the file system. Currently, I'm into search application. You can see it here. I'm under apps under search. So to define Kvstore, we need to create a collection. I'll show you how to create a collection here. Just type VA. Whenever you're creating something, you should always create under local. I'm in local now on collections.conf. I'm going to create a collection for student. Let's name it training underscore student and enforce type equals to false, field dot name equal to string, field dot id equal to number, and replicate by default is false. That means you are saying that don't replicate this collection to indexer cluster if the search head is in an indexer cluster. Enforce type equal to false means here we are saying that this field name should be string type. For example, if you say enforce types equal to true, it will only accept string type, and the second field.id, it will only accept value as a number. Let's save this, and we need to define this. We can define this one in transforms.conf. Let's make it training underscore lookup, and collection is the one we just created, training underscore student. External type would be Kvstore. There are two types, one is CSV, another one is Kvstore. In this case, it should be Kvstore. External type equal to Kvstore. And fields list, we have two fields. Underscore key is the default field. You have to specify that default field, underscore key, and name and ID. Let's save this. Let's see how to migrate CSV lookups to Kvstore lookups or load data into Kvstore lookups. Before migrating any CSV lookup or loading data into Kvstore lookups, first we have to define the schema of the Kvstore lookup, which is what we have just done. Now we have a Kvstore lookup with schema, ID and name. We have a CSV lookup here and we want to migrate this CSV file to Kvstore. Let's see how to do that. Let me save this file, take this CSV, go to search. To see the content of the lookup file, we use command called input lookup. You can see it here, there are 4 records with the two fields ID and name. Now I would like to migrate this table to Kvstore, or I want to load this data into Kvstore. How we can do that? There is a command called output lookup. Output lookup, and the lookup to which you want to write these records, that is training underscore student. Let's run this. Sorry, I forgot to tell you, we have to use the lookup name as the one we have given in the transforms.conf, that is training underscore student underscore lookup. Let's go back to our search and change this. Let's run this. You can see it here, it is executed without any errors. Just click on the job. You can see results returned to collection. It is saying collection training student, but the lookup name is training underscore student underscore lookup. To see the events of this lookup, we can use the same command input lookup. Just remove this, and we have a lookup, Kvstore lookup here. Just enter, and you see the same records are exported or migrated to the Kvstore lookup. The last topic is how to create automatic lookups. Let's expand this event. You can see client IP here, and I'm going to get host name whenever you expand this event. Currently host name is not available here. Let me find that host name. You find 0 results. Whenever there is a client IP in a Splunk source type, Splunk is the source type here, we are going to apply automatic lookups to this source type. Whenever you find client IP in this source type, if there is a match to this client IP, then automatic lookup will return host name. Currently, we don't have host name here. Let's see how to do that. I have a lookup here. It says that IP 127.0.0.1 and host name it is saying that Thambicity underscore PC. After creating this auto lookup, when you run this search, when there is a client IP 127.0.0.1 in the source type Splunk D, you should automatically see hostname Thambicity underscore PC. Let's save this lookup file. To create automatic lookups, you should go to lookups under settings. We have already seen first option and second option, and the third option is automatic lookups. Click on this new automatic lookup. Destination app should be search. Let's name this training auto lookup table training. Before using any CSV file in automatic lookups, you have to define that lookup. Let's go back to lookups and define this lookup. Lookup definitions. Click on new lookup definition. Destination app should be search. Name training auto lookup. Look for training auto lookup.csv and click on save. Now let's go to automatic lookup. Click on lookups. Automatic lookups. New automatic lookup. Destination app leave it as it is. Name training auto lookup table training lookup. It's not showing here. The reason why it's not showing, we have created definition for training auto lookup inside the search application, but we are in lookup underscore editor application. To show that app here, let's go to search application first. Click on settings, lookups, automatic lookups, new automatic lookup table, training auto lookup. You can see it here now. Source type, I mentioned we are going to apply this to Splunk D and lookup input field values. Here, the first field would be the field which is inside the lookup table, that is IP. And here, the field which is inside the event, that is client IP. And under lookup output fields, we are trying to get host name. Just type host name. How you want to see this host name inside the event results? I want to see it as host name only. Let's save it. Sorry, I forgot to give name. Training underscore auto underscore lookup. Save it. Let me copy this search. Click on Splunk Enterprise just to refresh. Or it may take some time. Now click on search and reporting. Run the same search again. Enter. Let's expand the first event and find hostname. You can see it here. To summarize, you have learned all these 10 topics and also input lookup command to display content of lookup file, lookup command to look up field values from events, output lookup command to write events to lookup or load data into Kvstore lookups, fields command to remove fields from search results. Thanks for watching. I hope this video is useful to learn the topics covered. Please like, share and subscribe.